You're watching the Northeastern News program that keeps you up to date, aware, and informed on all things related to Northeastern High School. This is High Street Morning News.
Good morning, Northeastern. Today is Friday, November 12th, 2021, Cycle Day 6. I'm Lydia Alvarez.
And I'm Colby Thompson. Before we start our announcements,
it's the final day of National French Week.
So we have our final question coming up right now, and let me just pass it off to the man himself.
Okay, thank you guys. It's our final question. Today's question is, what are the days of the week in order in French, Monday through Sunday? Now, there are a lot of French words here that I can't pronounce, so we're going to just leave this on the screen here for a little while so you guys can all check it out. And what we're looking for is the days of the week in order in French, Monday through Sunday. And then once again, we will take the 9th caller. That will give the opportunity for people that are watching the live stream a chance to see and hear the question and also be able to call in. So be the 9th caller right now, and at the end of the show, we'll find out who our winner is.
Bonne chance. Now to our announcements.
On behalf of Sergeant Gibbs and Mr. Fabian, we would like to congratulate Gavin Shive for officially enlisting in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard this past Tuesday. Gavin will be going to college in the spring of 2023 with the aspirations of becoming a cyber intelligence security analysis or a Canon crew member.
Just a reminder that musical auditions are due next Tuesday and Wednesday. There is still time to pick up an audition packet in room 106. See your class page on Schoology to access the links for the songs and dance routine. Time slots are filling up fast. Secure yours today.
The next game afternoon is scheduled for next Wednesday, November 17th from 2:40 p.m. until 4 p.m. in the library. Please come to play games, play cards, do mind teasers, work on the puzzle, etc. Please remember this is an electronics-free event. Come have a snack, play some games, meet new people, and have some fun. We will have games available, but please feel free to bring games with you. If you have any questions, please see Miss Newcomb or Mrs. Seifert in the library.
Gobblegrams will be sold during lunch until November 19th. Send candy and a message to friends and staff members for only $3. All Gobblegrams will be handed out during AP during the week of November 22nd. All money raised goes towards prom.
Minithon will be holding a 12 Days of Minithon raffle fundraiser later this month. Tickets will be $1 and prizes include AirPod Pros, TVs, Bluetooth speakers, a Nintendo Switch, and an Oculus. If you are interested in winning, be on the lookout for more information later this month.
Juniors, you have another week to sell your Fisher's Popcorn. That's right, Fisher's Popcorn straight from Ocean City's boardwalk. Orders are due to Mrs. Art in room 609 by November 22nd. All money raised goes towards prom.
Due to the number of seniors not signed up for photos, Mrs. Schweitzer has scheduled the remaining seniors for their photos on November 30th and December 1st. These are the only times we can get these photos done, and there will be not be retakes for the yearbook beyond this day. Students should not attempt to schedule their own photo at this point. The list of seniors and their codes are posted via a link on Schoology. If a senior is not on this list and needs a photo scheduled, please contact Mrs. Schweitzer and she will add you. Any questions regarding this should be directed to Mrs. Schweitzer. Now to sports.
A reminder that the first day of boys basketball tryouts will be next Friday, November 19th from 2:45 until 5 o'clock in the high school main gym. Boys in grades 9 through 12 who are interested must have a physical and other required paperwork turned in to participate in tryouts. Today's lunch is grilled cheese sandwich. Monday's breakfast is Cindy Minis, and Monday's lunch is Asian bar. Now on to weather.
Thank you, Evelyn. I'm Beatsum with your weather. Today, it's currently 56. It's feeling like 54. Humidity around 93% and a wind of 8 miles per hour heading towards the weekend. So we got Saturday looking pretty wet too, the high of 49 and a low of 33. We got Sunday partly cloudy, a high of 48 and a low of 30. We got Monday partly cloudy, a high of 47 and a low of 33. Tuesday partly cloudy also, a high of 49 and a low of 31. And we got Wednesday partly cloudy, a high of 62 and a low of 35. Back to the desk.
All right, well, we have a caller. So we're going to put him on speaker for you real quick. Hello, caller. Who is this and what homeroom are you in?
Hi, this is Dominic Alvarado in Mrs. Brown's room.
All
Brown's room.
right. Do you know the answer?
Yes.
All right.
It's number 1.
Number 1 is correct.
Yay,
Make sure to go down to Miss Hickey's room in room 112 to claim your prize.
Congratulations on winning the last question of French Week.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we have for today, Northeastern. So have a fantastic day. Don't forget to stay classy. We're going to have a 5-minute break before our assembly. So relax, enjoy, and don't forget to stay classy. Have a great weekend.
Good morning, Northeastern. It is a pleasure and an honor to stand here again as we remember our veterans on yet another Veterans Day. As we begin this Veterans Day assembly, would you please rise as the color guard for Mount Wolf VFW Post 2493 present the colors and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First to go. Forward. Left face. Forward.
First, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Gay for allowing us this time to honor our veterans on this Veterans Day 2020. We all know and have experienced the many changes to our routine that 2020 has brought. But there is one thing that remains, and we can be assured of this, is that our brave men and women of the armed forces are still on the job, protecting and defending our country. Here we gather once again, November 10th, the day before Veterans Day, and our country still has men and women in harm's way somewhere in the world. 102 years ago tomorrow, November 11th, 1918, the guns fell silent over the battlefields of Europe with the signing of the armistice, ending what was referred to as the war to end all wars. Today, we know that event is World War I. But it was not until the world collapsed into another global conflict known today as World War II. Originally named Armistice Day, November 11th, called Veterans Day since 1954, is a day to honor and recognize the brave men and women who have served and continue to serve in our armed forces. American men and women continue today to serve with distinction, and throughout American history dating to the Revolutionary War of 1775, and additional military conflicts including World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and most recently, Iraq and Afghanistan. Our military has been in many other countries around the world helping in the struggle for freedom and democracy, such as Grenada, Panama, Haiti, and Bosnia. These places may not be as familiar to us as locations such as Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, Incheon, the Mekong Delta, Kabul, or Baghdad. But they are no less important, for they all symbolize service and sacrifice on the part of our military veterans. As I reflect upon this program, I still cannot find better words than those spoken by Captain John Miller, a character in the movie Saving Private Ryan. Just moments before his death, Captain Miller speaks two very important words to Private James Ryan: earn this. I believe this film to be a window into a time in which uncommon valor was commonly practiced. What we have done as a nation to earn what our veterans, not just of World War II, have done, but all veterans who have donned the uniform of service and sacrifice. Have we individually done something to make someone else's life a little bit easier or better in some way? I would like to ask each of you sitting here today this question. What do you believe about this country? Do you believe it is worth protecting our way of life and the blessings that freedom has provided you each day? Do you believe it is worth defending the very freedoms that give us an individual an opportunity to worship freely, or to speak freely his or her mind, even if it is contrary to popular opinion, or something that someone else may find offensive? Do you believe that Americans are the only people who should have the opportunity to enjoy the very blessings of a government that grants freedom without the fear of oppression and reprisals? It does not matter today your political affiliation or your personal stance on important social issues. Today is a day to honor the men and women of our country who have served this country with pride and distinction as members of the United States Armed Forces. It is through their unselfish sacrifice and service of our military veterans who served in times of war and also times of peace that we are able to gather here freely today. America has long been the model of democracy for the world. When freedom and liberty have been threatened, the American soldier, whether on land, on the sea, or in the air, has responded. In the movie The Lost Battalion, Major Charles Whittlesey said, "Life would be a lot simpler if we could choose our duties and our obligations. We can't and we shouldn't." A World War I song says, "Blood shed for all, sacrifice and tears, love for our flag and country dear." That belief is embodied in our veterans. These brave men and women stepped forward to serve when the nation called. Some left the safety of home and the familiar for the uncertainty and danger inherent in a war zone. Many of us here today know veterans, some whose service to country ended years ago, some who are currently in harm's way. And we honor and remember them as well today. Veterans Day is not about sales at a local department store, nor is it a marketing pitch. Every day we should take pride and the time to honor our veterans and their sacrifice, which has made our country what it is today. I challenge each of you that when you see a veteran, say thank you. It is only a small token of appreciation, but it can mean so very much. So it is with pride and admiration and a sincere thank you that we conduct this assembly today. There are several members of our faculty, staff, and our school board who are veterans of military service, and I would like to recognize them now. Mr. John Eister, United States Air Force. Mrs. Susan Schlag, United States Army Reserve. Mrs. Wendy Seifert, United States Army. Mr. Eric Hornberger. We could not gather here to honor our living veterans without taking a moment of silence to remember those who have served with distinction, but who are no longer with us. In the poem In Flanders Fields, written by a Canadian soldier in World War I, the poppy has become a symbol of remembrance of our veterans. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce head amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn and sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands below. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. Let us take a moment of silence to remember those who, in the words of Abraham Lincoln, gave the last full measure of devotion, and those who served who have passed on since the last time we gathered here for Veterans Day. Thank you. I would like to personally thank Mr. Weichert for his time in creating and putting together our Veterans Day Assembly this year. To the members of the VFW Color Guard for presenting the colors. And thank you to John Hunger and Nathaniel Milando for their rendition of Taps. Thank you very much, and happy Veterans Day.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Those officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The timing of this holiday is quite deliberate in terms of historical fact. But somehow it always seems quite fitting to me that this day comes deep in autumn when the colors are muted and the days seem to invite contemplation. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise, but most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.